Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for visiting. My name is Natasha, I'm a polyglot, I'm fluent in 9 languages, and today I want to give you recommendations on what languages you should learn in 2025. This is a very popular topic, and I know a lot of people, when they start to learn languages or start getting interested in language learning, are usually wondering what's the best, most useful, or even the easiest language to learn, because let's be honest, learning languages is something that requires a lot of energy, a lot of time, in some cases even a lot of money. So when you decide to learn a new language, you might as well make sure to choose something that's useful in some sense for you. So today I want to discuss this topic with you guys, and please, in case you like my channel and my videos, please subscribe, give me a like or a comment, let me know your opinion on any language learning related stories, and let's start. So the question, what language should I learn or what language should I start learning, is so popular that I have been getting it forever. Usually when people learn that I'm a polyglot or someone who loves languages, the first question is, how did you manage to learn so many languages? And then second question is always, which language should I learn? And this comes from both people who are not very experienced in language learning and from people who already speak some languages, but they're not sure which language should they learn next. I always say to people, and this is kind of disappointing and harsh, that in most of the cases you really have no choice, or you have no luxury to actually choose what language you're going to learn, because most of the people learn languages because they're useful for them. They're going to get something by learning that language, such as better job opportunities or a chance to immigrate to a certain country or even to travel there. And in most of the cases, you really have no choice and luxury to allow yourself to learn a language that's not useful for you. I think that people who are like me, who are able to just choose a random language and get interested in it and dedicate time to learning it, are very lucky, but there are also very few of us. So if you're just an average person who is not a polyglot or not a language enthusiast, I think that you don't really have a chance to be very picky with your languages, so you will probably just have to go with the language that's most useful for you. In most of the cases nowadays, in 2025, I think that English is definitely still #1 language that everyone should learn, and it doesn't matter where do you come from, if you're from Asia, Europe, Africa, anywhere else. English language is definitely the #1 that you should learn. Now, I assume that if you're watching this video, you already speak English to a certain extent. If you need to improve it, you are probably aware of that and you will do it. However, if you have friends or family members who are not really interested in learning languages, I think that you definitely should force them somehow to learn English, because living in nowadays world without English is, I feel, very hard. Even if you never travel to an English-speaking country or don't have plans to move there, for any job pretty much everywhere in the world, you really need English to know English to a certain extent. And not only for work, but even if you just want to consume pop culture, you still have to speak a little bit of English, at least to some basic level, to be able to really understand what's going on in the world. So I think that English is definitely #1 and you don't really have a choice with this. Also, I feel that there are so many other languages that are equally useful. For example, in Europe, German is pretty useful for a lot of people. First of all, because Germany and other German-speaking countries are offering a lot of job opportunities. So, for example, people from the area where I'm from, a lot of them immigrate to Germany and live there. So if there is someone from the Balkans watching this video, if you're wondering what language you should start learning, it's definitely German after English. I know that this is the case with many other European countries. I feel that when it comes to Europe, German is a very, very useful language to learn. When it comes to the rest of the world, I feel that Spanish is also very important to learn, especially if you are from North America. I mean, a native English speaker. I know that native English speakers have the luxury to not actually have to learn any language because their language is spoken everywhere. However, if you are a native English speaker and you want to try learning any language, I think that Spanish is definitely the most useful for you, and also is one of the easiest language for native English speakers to learn. So I would definitely recommend you using Spanish as your first foreign language. As for the languages that might be useful to all of us to learn in the future, a lot of people mention Mandarin Chinese and Arabic. among a few other languages, but these two are particularly interesting, and I have made a video here on my channel explaining why I believe that Mandarin will never replace English as a world language or a language that everyone has to learn. And I still think so. However, I don't think that any language is completely useless. So if you're very brave or already experienced with learning languages and you're looking for a language that's going to be a challenge but also might be useful for you in the future, I would definitely recommend you to try either Mandarin or Arabic. Both of these languages are extremely complicated. Both of them are definitely belonging to that #1 place of hardest languages to learn, especially if you are from Europe and your native language is Indo-European. It's going to be super hard for you. And I also believe that these two languages will never replace English or any other European languages when it comes to international communication, just for the fact that they're so complicated. But I think that they might be very useful in the future. So if you are very enthusiastic about your language learning skills, these two languages are something that I would recommend you to try learning. I personally have tried learning Arabic. It didn't really last too long. I only learned how to write, which was much easier than I thought it is. But at some point I just realized that it's too complicated for me. Pronunciation is too complicated. There are so many different dialects, and it's hard even for native speakers to understand each other if they speak different dialects of Arabic. So I realized that for me it would be practically impossible, or it would take me ages to actually learn it, so I gave up. However, if you are very optimistic and brave and love challenge, I would definitely recommend either Mandarin or Arabic to learn in 2025, because they might be really useful in the future. Now, let's move on from this useful to learn languages, and let's go to the real reason why most of polyglots learn languages, and it's love for languages. I feel that when it comes to choosing which language to learn next, it is very important for you to enjoy learning that language. I know it's really easy to say, and I know that a lot of you might think, okay, I might enjoy it, but it's not useful, and I'm still going to be spending a lot of time and dedicating a lot of energy and even money to learning it. However, I really believe that if you want to learn something, you have to enjoy doing it. I have said this many times here on my channel. I have picked each one of the languages I speak because of most of them, actually, not all of them. But I have decided to learn them because I enjoyed them. I love how they sound. I love the culture of the countries where they're spoken. And that has definitely helped me so much to learn them. I don't think it would be possible for me to learn a language that I don't like, that I don't really enjoy listening to, or a language of the country that I'm not really interested into. That's why I was never able to learn any of the Asian languages, and I have also said it here on my channel, it's just impossible for me. So I think that when it comes to choosing a language that you want to learn next, it is also very important to keep in mind how much do you really love them, because if you don't, at some point you might just give up because it's hard to do something that you don't like. So as I said, usefulness should be definitely #1 thing to consider, and that is something that where you don't even have a choice. But another equally important thing to consider is how much you actually love and enjoy the language that you want to learn. And the last thing, for all of you who are aspiring to become a polyglot, and if you already, especially for those of you who speak 2 or 3 languages and you would like to add few more languages to your list in order to become a polyglot, I think that the best way to do this is to start learning languages that are similar to the ones that you already speak. So if you speak, let's say, Russian and you want to become a polyglot, I would definitely recommend you to learn languages that are similar to Russian, which are pretty much all other Slavic languages. It's going to be so much easier for you to learn these languages than languages that are totally different, and that way you will become polyglot faster. Also, if you're a native Spanish speaker, I feel that Italian would be super easy for you, and Brazilian Portuguese. As well, if you're a native English speaker, there are also a few languages that would be easy for you to learn. So if you're just aspiring to be a polyglot, you already speak 2 or 3 languages and you want to speak more, I would definitely recommend you going for languages that are similar to the ones you already speak, or similar to your native language as well. So now I want to know, what languages do you guys consider useful to learn in 2025? What languages would you recommend other people to start learning, whether it's based on usefulness of those languages or just their beauty? Let me know your opinion in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon.